Morning there, collective, yet again. Yeah, it's me, your favorite neighborhood Viking. So we're going to go ahead and look at the overall energy for today. I just posted the overall energy for the week, as in general. That's what we usually do on Sundays. I'll pull in advance the energy for the entire week. And that's what I've already done. I've already posted that. And we're going to go ahead and now look at today specifically. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and start off like I have been doing this week by pulling off three cards in the runic deck to get an overall energy for today. And then we'll go ahead and recap the energy for the week in terms of the runes that we've already pulled. Okay. So that being said, I keep seeing Three of Cups, which is about celebrations and so on. And so that's good, because the overall energy so far is that of Urus in reverse. And that's not particularly good news. It just means that we have something extremely negative within our energetic field. And I get the feeling that it's not you or I, that it's definitely pertaining to somebody that's either coming in or already in our energetic field. And that could be somebody very close to you. It could be your significant other. It could be somebody new coming into your field, presenting themselves as a sheep, but they're actually a wolf in sheep's clothing. So just keep that in mind. Well, my friends keep visiting me. There's a bluebird. I think that it thinks I'm, part carrion or whatever. All right, so we'll talk a little bit more about that in a second. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at our energy for today. All right. So at the bottom of the deck, I have King of Cups. That's very good. That talks about basically, being rational, emotionally balanced, being calm, faithful, friendly, mature, wise, and caring. And I hope that's the energy that most of you are embodying right now. Or if not, be conscious of it and do so, okay? So the overall, oh, look at that. Oh my God. Guess what came out? The Three of Cups. So the overall energy for today is about celebration, basically. Three of Cups. I just said that before I actually shuffled and pulled this out. So it's a time of celebration, okay? Or it will be soon. Okay, because it does look like we do have some hurdles yet to get over. Celebration. Keep that down. Forgive me, I just have to keep tabs of all this. Okay, so what is another energy, please? Another energy, please, for today or for the week in general. But, well, specifically for Sunday. Forgive me. The sun is already baking me. I got out here at 6 o'clock in the morning, but, I put off doing this until now, so it's almost 9 o'clock. All right, what is the overall energy again for today, please, and thank you. All right, well, Eight of Cups. Okay, that too is not a bad one. It talks about desire to leave something behind, okay? Abandonment, escaping, needing strength, perhaps a need also to travel or move. Now, this may come abruptly and so on. This may be one of the hurdles that we have to overcome. And again, this is exactly what I'm in the process of going through too. So these energies definitely pertain to me and as well as you, if not now, in the near future. And at the bottom, we have Seven of Cups. So that's a lot of cups, okay, being filled. So daydreaming, but lacking action, fantasies, desires, options, temptations. I got this for myself yesterday as well, on a reading I did for myself. All right, so can I get one more energy, please, for the collective for today, for Sunday? Thank you. One more energy for today, for Sunday. Thank you. Thank you. One more. All right, here we go. Oh, well, we have the Four of Wands, Four of Staffs. That too is a celebratory type of thing. It says basically taking rest or taking the time to rest and enjoy success, romance, tranquility, family prosperity, and harmony. So again, very, very positive as far as the overall energy in terms of the tarot for this week. Okay. Now, with that being said, let's reflect back to what we got in terms of the runes for this week. What I pulled already and already posted, okay? Now, that was basically, again, Urus in reverse is the overall energy for the week. So we have to be cautious, especially of people coming into our lives. Somebody new coming into our lives may seem, to be a sheep, but in fact, they are wearing sheep's clothing. You know the analogy that I'm talking about, okay? So we have to be very cautious. Remember, Satan himself comes as an angel of light. So, and I'm not saying this for you to be paranoid at all, but we have to be wise as serpents. And that means we have to be able to see beyond the veneer, beyond the outside appearances. All right, so what does Urus in reverse mean? Well, it means weak-willed, low energy and illness, sickness, possibly missed opportunities, a form of obsession, misdirected force, a will for domination, sickness, lust, inconsistency, ignorance, brutality, rashness, violence, and callousness. Now again, I feel very strongly this is not speaking about you and I specifically. I know exactly who this is talking about in my life. I would invite you to examine either the new relationships that come into this week, perhaps somebody you may not have seen in a very long time, for example, and we've been talking about that the last couple of days of this week. Somebody that's actually hiding a third party, wanting to kick up or reboot a romance with you, for example. Be careful. Be very, very cautious, okay? And it's not a guarantee that they are the devil in your particular life, but all in all, that's what it's pointing to. So that's what the overall energy for the week is. Now, the energy for today that we pulled was Degas. So Sunday's overall energy, along with Urus in reverse, is that of clarity that we get from the day versus the night, okay? Transformation, balance, ambition and growth, breakthroughs, cosmic consciousness and awareness, clarity, a time to plan or embark on an enterprise of some type. The power to change through your will. That's important. Security and growth. Okay? It's where opposites meet. Yin and yang, the balance that we've talked about with Nalthus and with Esau, that we got so many times over the last couple of weeks. Okay? So that was the overall energy for today in general. Now we're going to pull the present energy right now from this point. Okay? All right. So I've already done my prayers and invocations and everything else. What is the overall energy right now? And thank you very much. Overall energy for my collective right now. And thank you very much. We're going deep. We're going deep. All right. Let's see what we get. Okay. Iwas. Let's see. Where's it at? Oh, it's right here. Okay. Iwas is a positive rune. And it's one of power, protection. In fact, it's used in that capacity oftentimes. Iwas is found in the second group family, or Ayat, which is basically governed over by the god Heimdall. Heimdall is basically the god who protects the gates of Asgard itself. So it's the warrior group or family. And it basically talks about not only the yew tree, which they often actually carved the runes from and basically had a reverence for, but also that of death. Now, it could in fact be a physical death that we're talking about in your life. Somebody within your energetic field may actually, unfortunately, or maybe not so, depending on your particular situation, perish very soon. okay? But it's also speaking about potentially the end of a cycle, the death of a cycle. So that means rebirth is also one of the words that it's talking about here. So death and rebirth, or being born again, that's what it means. But again, as it also talks about, is both strength, dependability, and also protection. It's a wonderful energy for us to be in right now, especially with the warning of caution that we got for the overall weekly energy. So stay, basically very much aware of what's going on around you. All right, now let's look at some influences. What are some influences for the energy for today, please? What are some of the energies that are influencing Iwas? Energies that are influencing our day and Iwas. Damn it. All right, well, Fehu, this is the goddess Freya's rune, but it's in reverse. So, Fehu in reverse. What does it mean in reverse? Well, Fehu in reverse basically talks about greed again, loss, money problems, poverty, and some form of failure. So I'm hoping this is not you, and it was 11:11 when I said that. So I do believe in divine numerology as well, that it's everything within this matrix, if you will. If it is a computer simulation, deals with some form of mathematics, okay? And again, that's a whole nother freaking topic that I will hopefully cover at some future point. But right now we're talking about Fehu in reverse, or Freya's rune in reverse. And again, it does talk about a warning, or what somebody else, perhaps this person that we need to be very cautious of, is going through at this particular point in time. Okay? So it doesn't have to be you specifically. Remember, it's somebody within your energetic field, or you yourself. You'll have to decide that. So that's not for me to decide. I'm just telling you what the energy is, okay? And it will be different for every person out there who watches this. So again, greed, loss, money problems, poverty, and some form of failure, okay? That's what this energy basically talks about. Now, what is another influence, please? That's the devil on one shoulder, with the very positive energy of Iwas overall. Another influence, please. Another influence for today for my collective. What do they need to be aware of? What else is influencing this day and this day's energy? And thank you. Okay. Shit. Othala. I pulled this already once today, but this time it's the Rose Quartz rune, and it's in reverse. It's with all these reversals, but they're still not as powerful as the Iwas. So Othala in reverse is basically, in most cases, considered to be the very last rune, or the 24th rune in their alphabet, or their Futhark. And basically in reverse, again, it speaks about recklessness, frustration. We got that also in terms of the major overall weekly energy in Uruz in reverse. But it also talks about frustrations, legal problems, not yours, presumably. You've already been guaranteed success and victory in your legal battle, but it does talk about this for somebody in your energetic field. Hassles, again, poverty and homelessness. All of these things are happening for somebody in your energetic field, so be cautious, be aware. They're looking for somebody else to take the burden off themselves. Now keep in mind, it's good to have empathy, to pray for these people, to help, if you are called to do so. I mean, even Jesus said, if your enemy has hunger or has need of, water, or, is in thirst, then provide those things for them. But it doesn't say take their burden upon them. They're given these challenges, if you will, so that they will hopefully, potentially grow. It's not your job to take their karma over for them. What you're doing, in a sense, is in a form of enabling them. And you're removing the burden upon them that was placed there from the Most High, or the universe. So always keep that in mind. I know that's a hard lesson to learn. I had to learn it too. Okay, I enabled many people in my life, thinking I was, trying my very best to represent a godly, sense of what it was I was trying to walk in my life. But it turns out we have to be wise. We have to be discerning in this battle. And it is a battle a lot of the times. All right? So keep that in mind, okay? That's what we're being told in these things. All right, so what is our future energy, please? Future energy for the collective for today, Sunday, 29th. Overall energy for the future for today. And thank you. Now this. Okay? Now this is a yin and yang type of rune. And basically what it means in a nutshell is the harvest or the reaping, if you will, of earlier efforts made. So whatever efforts you put into whatever endeavor, whether it's work, romance, whatever it may be, you are going to see very soon the fruits of that labor. That's what this represents, and it is our future energy from now until midnight tonight. So those are very, very good runes. It gives us a word of caution, which we ended off on yesterday, and it also gives us the power that we have available to us in form of protection through Iwas. Okay? And we know that our fruits of our labor is coming as well. We just have to be patient. All right. Now, with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and look at some hidden truth oracles. Okay, that's what we're using here. The hidden truth oracles. So we can find a little bit more information, you know, for what Spirit wants you to know. Or be cautious of, or perhaps something to look forward to. Okay? So what is the energy for my collective? What do they need to be told, warned about, or what do they have to look forward to? These things are so hard to shuffle, man. Thank you for your help and your guidance. What does the collective need to know? Thank you. Okay. I hide behind material things. And again, I believe this to be, because I know it is in my case, so it's very difficult for me to see it any other way out there for the energy field at this point. I believe it to be accurate in your case as well. This is talking about somebody who is in your life. If it is you, then you need to correct that, okay? We know that gluttony, for example, is one of the 7 deadly sins, again, looked at from, you know, a purely Abrahamic faith belief, but it's not. It's also talked about in many of the other faiths as well, even the ones that are indigenous or what you would call paganism. They have something that's similar in nature to this. Many indigenous cultures used to take their belongings and they would literally take whatever they had at the end of the year and put it out there and share it with their particular tribe or what have you. Even the Norse belief basically was that it was better to give than to receive. You had to keep your wealth flowing in order to continually be blessed with more of it. And I truly believe that to be true. And there it is. Okay, let me get one more for the collective, please. What else do they need to be shown or made aware of, please, for my collective? And thank you so much for your help, your guidance. What do they need to know? Thank you. Okay. Here we go again. I hide who I am from you. All right. So this person is obviously going through their own challenges right now, and it's a good thing because it's always darkest before the dawn, right? Do not take their burden upon your shoulders. That is not our place. It is not. Okay? They have to use this just like, you know, forging metal. You have to go through the fire, right? In order to make that sword or, you know, that tool, that implement or whatever, to refine that metal, whatever the case may be. So use these things. Help them by giving them advice, good advice. They may not take it. That's not your place either. You just do the very best that you can. That's what we're here to do for the collective, to be a blessing and not a curse. And then you know, it's on them to either choose to grow from this or to try to fight it, and then I guarantee that they will actually get more of the same until they are basically literally sat down and learned their lesson. And that's, some people, they need that. They just do. They're very, very stubborn and hard-headed. And, you know, I used to be that way too, because I do fight against status quo all the time. I fight against the powers that be. I do not believe they have the authority to tell me how to live my life, period. So I have gone to great measures to find out their secrets, and boy, have I found out a lot about it. And I plan on sharing those when I get out of my particular predicament. I'm going to make some really good documentaries on all of that. In the meantime, back to this. Let's find out what Spirit wants you to know about love. We all want to know about love, right? So, Spirit, can you tell me, what is the overall energy in terms of amore when it comes to my collective, please? And thank you. What is the overall energy in terms of love right now? What do they need to know? Thank you. What do they need to know? Thank you very much. All right. What we have here is camera. Okay. So it talks about reminiscing, keepsakes, perceptions, learning from the past, and making memories. Now, one of the things that I regret the most when raising my children, because they were so difficult, especially since I had people literally in my life that were supposed to be there by proxy of their relationship with me to support me, but instead many times they stuck barriers in front of me and tried everything in their power to stand in front of me, to make my life so much more difficult and the raising of my children so much more difficult. But as a result of that, I didn't record as much of what happened in their earlier lives as I wished I had. I do have a few, and it looks like I may be losing those very soon, unfortunately. But record it. We all have the ability now. Every phone today has a camera. Take a lot of pictures. Make a lot of memories with your love. I mean, with the people that you have in your energetic field that you love. Okay? Because you will regret it later on if you don't. I do. All right. Let me go ahead and look at one more, please. One more energy for the collective for today on love. What else do they need to know? Okay, what else do they need to know? And thank you. All right. Girl talk. Girl talk. So it talks about having time with your friends. That's important. Moving on. Being happily single. I am. Living in the moment. Again, I always do. And having fun. I try, even despite my circumstances, to find the good in things. It's not always easy, I admit that, but so important, and it's always present, even if we can't see it, immediately. When you do your reflection, when you do your meditation and prayer, you will start to see things for what they are versus the way that, you first saw them. Okay? And that's the way it always works, at least in my life. So I strongly urge you to reflect, no matter how bad things are. When you've done your, like I said, your prayers and so on, you're going to find and see things in a much different light. Okay? And I hope I wasn't too preachy today, but keep in mind, I'm not just here to give you just the energy. I'm also to give, the experience that I have. Like I said, I'm 65 years old. I've had a long life already. I may not look it. I don't feel it. I'm very playful and a little silly at times. And I believe that's in keeping with my spirituality. We are supposed to maintain a sense of a childlike, I'm having so many problems speaking today. Childlike heart. And I'm really trying to maintain that, again, in spite of my current situation or the things that the Matrix constantly wants to remind me of in my reality right now. And I'm saying these things to you without telling you exactly what that is, so that when I do succeed, I do finally come to the other side of this tunnel, you guys can share that victory with me and be encouraged by that, okay? I can do it, you can do it. So that's what this is about for me. I've always been a teacher, no matter what field I've been in, whether it's construction, academia in general, or whether it's been a Marine. I was always put up there as an instructor, even though I was always bashful. I've always been shy, introverted, somewhat insecure, and that's because I had to deal with my child, issues and everything else, the things that I went through and I had to overcome by battling with my demons. Okay, so now I have a more healthy mindset of who I am, what I am to be, and what I represent, and how the fact I work actually literally for the universe, for producing some form of good and not negativity in this world. And I pray the same for each and every one of you. And I'm going to end that right at 26 minutes. And again, I pray for your blessings throughout this week. Be cautious. Peace. See you in Valhalla.